The Titanic Switch Conspiracy, a deep dive into one of history's greatest deceptions. For over a century, the story of the RMS Titanic has captivated the world, a tragic tale of ambition, hubris, and loss. On April 15, 1912, the unsinkable luxury liner struck an iceberg and sank into the icy depths of the North Atlantic, taking over 1,500 lives with it. The official narrative tells of human error, inadequate safety measures, and bad luck. But what if the story we've been told isn't the truth? What if the ship that went down that fateful night wasn't the Titanic at all? This is the theory that has haunted historians, ship enthusiasts, and conspiracy theorists alike. The belief that the Titanic was switched with its near-identical sister ship, the RMS Olympic, in a sinister insurance fraud scheme. A case of mistaken identity. The Titanic and the Olympic were nearly twins, both built by the White Star Line at the Harland and Wolff shipyard in Belfast. The Olympic, however, had a troubled past. Launched a year before the Titanic, it suffered a devastating collision with the HMS Hawke, a British naval cruiser, in September 1911. The crash left the Olympic heavily damaged, with a twisted hull and a massive gash along its side. The blame fell on the Olympic, and as a result, White Star Line's insurance claim was denied, leaving them with a financial catastrophe. According to the conspiracy, the White Star Line devised a desperate plan. They would secretly switch the two ships. The damaged Olympic, now incapable of making money, would be disguised as the Titanic. Meanwhile, the real Titanic, brand new and unscathed, would take the Olympic's place and continue operating under a different name. The plan? Send the Titanic, really the Olympic, on its maiden voyage, insure it, accidentally, sinks, and collect a massive insurance payout. The evidence for the switch. Over the years, researchers and skeptics have uncovered a series of strange inconsistencies that support the Titanic switch theory. Porthole differences. Photographs of the Titanic before its departure show a different arrangement of portholes than earlier images of the ship under construction. Interestingly, the ship that sank had the exact porthole layout of the Olympic, not the Titanic. Flooring anomalies. When explorers visited the Titanic wreck decades later, they found evidence of linoleum flooring in certain areas, something the Titanic was never outfitted with, but the Olympic was. Mysteriously canceled crew members. Many experienced crew members, some of whom had served on the Olympic, suddenly refused to board the Titanic at the last minute. Did they know something the passengers didn't? The weak hull. Survivors reported hearing eerie groaning sounds as the Titanic split apart, a possible sign of a ship already weakened from years of wear and damage, rather than a brand new vessel. The missing insurance payout. Despite the White Star Line supposedly losing its greatest ship, records indicate they never filed a massive insurance claim. Why wouldn't they attempt to recover their losses? Unless, of course, the Titanic wasn't insured at all, because the Olympic had already been denied coverage after its crash. The deaths of those who knew too much. One of the most chilling aspects of this theory is what happened to some of the people who may have known the truth. J.P. Morgan, the powerful banker who owned White Star Line, was supposed to be on the Titanic's maiden voyage, but canceled at the last minute. Coincidence, or did he know what was coming? Chief Officer Henry Wilde, who served on both ships, died with the Titanic. Did he know about the switch? Fireman John Podesta, a worker at Harland and Wolff, allegedly claimed that ships had been swapped. He mysteriously vanished and was never seen again. Those who spoke out were ignored, ridiculed, or simply disappeared. Final thoughts: truth or fiction? The Titanic switch conspiracy remains one of the most fascinating and enduring mysteries of the 20th century. While mainstream historians dismiss it as pure fantasy, the inconsistencies, unexplained anomalies, and suspicious details refuse to go away. Was it really the Titanic that sank that night, or was the world deceived by one of the greatest cover-ups in history? What do you think? Let us know in the comments below.